I am a national of Jamaica. Personally, my views in regards gays and straight people are this. Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I ask that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. So I woke up this morning to a headline that reads, Jamaica does not have to follow human rights rulings on buggery law. So obviously a headline like that drew my attention. As I began to read, I where Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck in Jamaica argument was Jamaica does not have to adjust its laws to satisfy this recent ruling by the Inter-American Human Rights Court. And it fascinated me, so I needed to read some more to find out who's right and who's wrong. Bottom line, this whole debate is saying in Jamaica, the laws against people engaging in homosexual acts, so man on man, woman and woman, are still punishable under the law, legally up to 10 years in prison, hard labor. That is the Jamaican law. And because that is still law on the Jamaican books, Delroy Chuck is pretty much saying Jamaica does not have to adjust its laws to satisfy the Inter-American Human Rights Court and their ruling that they recently made. Their ruling is pretty much saying that Jamaica's law that's presently on the book violates the rights of humans in Jamaica that are gay. I'm about to address that in a minute, but let me just get out what I would call the core facts first. Delroy Chuck argues that one of the main reasons why Jamaica does not have to adjust, amend, or change its laws to satisfy the Inter-American Human Rights Court is Jamaica is a sovereign state. Yep. I agree 100%. Jamaica is a sovereign state, which makes Jamaica an independent state. Now, before I make it known where I stand on gay and straight people, I have to get the politics out of the way. And the politics is simply this. Law is law. And one has to respect law. But more than respecting law, you have to respect the technicality of law where jurisdiction is concerned. And where jurisdiction is concerned in this particular case, Jamaica is Jamaica. And Jamaica, as much as it wants to be a lot like the United States of America, Jamaica remains still an independent state, an independent country outside of the United States of America. Now, I took it upon myself to research the Inter-American Human Rights Courts. What exactly is it? Because the word inter kind of attracted me because I thought, okay, inter, maybe Jamaica have some signature where it agrees with this body to follow the rules, to be partnership. Well, the Inter-American Human Rights Court is not as pronounced as it sounds, because what it is really, it is a group of people that are advocates for the LGBT group, which is not surprising, that just believes that they should take it up on themselves and go around the world and enforce their views on independent country. That being the case, I have to disagree with the Inter-American Human Rights Court. Their attitude, that is. You can share your views as a private individual to members of the Jamaican public, but you can't so much enforce your views for change or amend the Jamaican law. At the same time, Jamaica, I believe, shares a strong signature with Amnesty the world's human rights body, Amnesty International, where humans are supposed to be protected to a certain extent under an international law of human protection. However, under that international umbrella, there are other umbrellas that give country their independence, such as Jamaica, where the Buggery law can stand on the books unless Jamaican people propose to the government for a referendum. A referendum means a change in that law, an amendment of that law, a repeal of that law. But only the Jamaican people and the Jamaican government can do that. Jamaican laws are still written by Old Britannia. It's only of recent times since children that has turned into adults, such as myself, start making arguments and debate that has forced Jamaican government to tweak and amend certain rules and certain law from back in the day. I am a national of Jamaica. Personally, my views in regards gays and straight people are this: to each his own. Of course, there was a time that I have the views that homosexuality is a sin, homosexuality is a crime, homosexuality should be condemned. I share that view at one point in my life. Why? I was born and raised in Jamaica, and I was like a sponge against water. I sucked up and soaked up all the teachings that were given to me as a child. And as you know, Christianity and Rastafarianism is two big religious groups in Jamaica, and I was influenced by both. And to a certain extent, both were in disagreement, totally strong disagreement against homosexuality. But as time lapsed and I evolved into an adult and I had free thinking, as an heterosexual man, today I stand where I am not anti-gay. I am not anti-LGBT. I say to each his own. And one of the main reasons why I've taken that stand in my life as a human being is because as I got older, as much as I know that I was born black, as I got older and I traveled around the world, I realized that I was black. And born black and realizing that you were black, it's two different things. Born black is just something you tend to take for granted. You are who you are, and you never really think much about it. But as you get older and you start learning about prejudice and racism and oppression and the history of your people, the history of black people and the oppression that our forefathers and ancestors had to endure to the point where I'm sitting here, it would be ridiculous for someone like me to be prejudiced against any group of people that are considered to be prejudiced against just because of them being their being. From my understanding about gays and homosexuality, somebody didn't just wake up one day and just says, you know what, I want to be gay or I want to be a lesbian. Just like I was born a male and born into this black skin and I cannot do anything about it than behave according to my DNA and my traits, I understood that lesbians are born lesbians. Homosexual men are born homosexual, and as much as they may try to be anything different just to satisfy or appease society, it's not something that they can do. It's against their traits. It's against their biological buildup. It's just one of those things that I had to come to terms and understand. So, getting back onto the politics of it, if this should ever become an issue in Jamaica, again, it's up to the Jamaican people, it's up to the Jamaican government to outlaw the criminalization of a Buggery Act. But we have to respect that law is law and law will forever be law, and each country's Each country of the world has its individual law. There are still countries of the world today where women are not allowed to drive a car, where women are not allowed to walk in front of a man. And that could be seen as a human rights violation. That could be seen as a deprivation of freedom. And to an extent, I would agree. But as much as I agree with the fact that if you are caught in a homosexual act in Jamaica, you should be in prison. And in other Middle East country, if a woman should drive, she should be in prison. I agree with both of those. Why? Because in that country, that is the law. And you have to respect the law of that country. On a wider scope, I disagree, where I said people should be free and people should be allowed to do whatever they feel like doing. People should be able to live the life the way they want to live the life. I mean, my argument would be, who has the right to tell an individual how to live their life? We are all born, we all live, and we all shall die. And I wish upon every human being of this world to live their life with their personal choices that they believe will bring them happiness, whether or not it does bring them happiness or bring them grief. It's the choice we make. But personally, I don't think anyone should have the right to tell an individual how to lead his life, especially his personal life in regards to his sexuality and so forth. However, when you make yourself a part of a modern society, you have to follow the rules and the laws. The same way if you live in Jamaica, you have to follow the rules of Jamaica. You can't move to Jamaica and all of a sudden you want to tell Jamaica that it needs to change its laws to reflect the American Constitution. They are two different countries. And we have to respect that as long as it lasts, to be honest, because like I say, Jamaica is slowly converting into an image of the United States of America, from my point of view, that is. So, before I end, let me recap real quick. The Jamaican law, which is against buggery, which is against homosexuality, which is against everything that the LGBT stands for. In Jamaica, that law still stands, where an individual caught in the act can be imprisoned for up to 10 years under the law and hard labor. And my argument is pretty much that any other country around the world has to accept that that is the Jamaican law. If the Jamaican people has a problem with that law today, they have the right as Jamaican citizen to propose a repeal of that law, an abolishment of that law, so to speak, or just put that law to sleep on the books. But outside citizens from Jamaica has to respect the fact that this is Jamaica, this is their law. On the flip side of things, if Jamaica is a part of any international body such as Amnesty International, and they agree to follow the rules of Amnesty International, and let's just say, for example, Amnesty International says everybody that is in agreement, that is a part of our body, every individual country has to follow this rule, and the rule is gays and lesbians should be protected under the law and should not be penalized for their sexuality, then Jamaica would have to abide by that law or stop being a part of Amnesty. It's that simple, in my opinion. Anyway, people, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of my personal point of view, because you know, in this channel I accept thumbs up and thumbs down, agreement and disagreement, because at the end of the day, people, each one teach one. You've reached the end of my video, and that in itself is a support that I truly appreciate. And while I'm at it, I will take this time out to let you guys know other ways that you can support my channel. The first and simplest way that you can support my channel is by giving this video a thumbs up. And the second and most important way that you can support this channel is by hitting that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel and follow me through my YouTube journey. Other ways ways that you can support my channel is by going to my Teespring online store and buying some of my merch. And another way that you guys can also support this channel is by joining me in Patreon to give me a contribution to support what I do on YouTube and what I do to entertain you guys. Once again, I want to thank you guys for your continuous support and ask that you join me, Ian T. Sebast, on YouTube and see where my journey takes me. Until next time, people, peace.